Hello, and thank you for joining me for another episode of Curious Cat Crime Sunday with Shelby. And today's episode is going to be on Amanda and John Grazioli. And let's get to it. Hello, and thank you for joining me for another episode of Curious Cat Crime Sunday. As I said in the beginning, this episode is going to be on John and Amanda Grazioli, and it is a very sad story, a story that just shouldn't have happened, as none of them should have, but I mean, it was really out of the blue for most of the people in regards to this story. And I got it from American Monster, but I did do my own research as well. There are going to be some video clips in here that are a bit VHS format and from my computer, so they're not the best. Please bear that in mind as you see them. I did do my best to edit them up, but I can only do so much, so let's get into it, guys. Also, if you haven't before, subscribe as I post every Sunday at 5 p.m. Alright, let's get to it. Amanda Schmidt was born to Tom and Denise Schmidt in April 20th, 1986 in Altona, Pennsylvania. She had two younger sisters and one older brother named Brandon. As a kid, Amanda always dreamed of being a teacher. She loved children and helping her younger sisters, getting them dressed and doing their hair. She always wanted to be a teacher, and when she graduated, she finally reached that goal. After graduation, Amanda landed a job at a private school. Now, her sister said private schools don't pay as well as public schools. I'm not sure if that's true. It's just what was said, so I'm going to go with it. And she said she needed extra financial help. So she decided to contact the parents of some of her students to see if they needed aftercare. This is where she meets John and Erica Grazioli. And they were a married couple. They had two children, a son and a daughter. And they asked her about her credentials and asked her to tell them about herself, and she got the job. So what she would do was to take the children home from school. She would help them with homework, have them color or do things such as that, and then cook them a meal if necessary, and she would then go home. Well, a little while after, I'm not too sure how long, John and Erica got a divorce. Now, Erica was a neurosurgeon. John had a firm of some kind. They weren't very specific. I guess I could have looked it up, but I didn't. I'm sorry. But they got a divorce. So a little while later, one day, John, on Amanda's way out, asked, "Would you like to go out with me on Saturday?" And she really didn't want to because he was her boss and it would put things in complication and make things weird. Her sister said is what she said. And so she didn't do it. But a little while later they did end up dating, and soon after John proposed. Now, he proposed and everyone was very, very happy other than Erica, of course. And they saw them as this perfect couple who was just meant to be. There was a 13-year age gap, but they didn't mind, and neither did the family. Amanda and John had gotten married September 30th, 2017. Their wedding, in my opinion and the opinion of others, was gorgeous. She looked beautiful in her dress, and although camera shy, was happy to be in front of the camera for this. Her dad, as he walked her down the aisle, said it was the most happy moment of his life because he wanted his daughter to be happy, and John had made her that way. And they got married, and they did their first dance together, and it was just beautiful. Everything was perfect. But then 6 months goes by, and things start to get rough. But the new Grazioli, Miss Grazioli, had a problem that the old Miss Grazioli was trying to take custody of the kids, and this was really upsetting John, as it obviously would. Amanda had really wanted to have a good relationship with Erica. However, she was told by John that Erica didn't want her to see the kids, didn't want to see her, and so this really upset her, especially the custody battle that was going on between John and Erica. Amanda's mom said that John told her that Erica didn't want to be even in the same room as Amanda. March 8, 2018 was a day of horror. It was the day that John had called Erica and said, "I just killed my wife," and he left a box on her doorstep. So what does Erica do? She immediately calls the cops, to which they hold the air for this call specifically. They go to the Grazioli house and they find upstairs in the bedroom Amanda lying on the bed with one bullet hole to the back of her head. She was deceased. Anyways, when they went to the home and they had found Amanda, they also found a single shell casing and they put that in evidence. So they weren't sure if they had a man on their hands who was suicidal with a gun or was violent with a gun. They pinged his phone and found that his phone was at St. Peter's Cathedral. They went there and they found that, or they heard that he was with the priest who had confessed to murdering his wife, and they found him with the gun in his jacket pocket. They were able to render it safe and to arrest John. I will put a photo here. And when they arrested him and brought him into interrogation, he claimed that he had had a birthday gift for her and she asked for her birthday gift early and it was a gun. And that in the process of getting it out and showing it to her, it went off. And that's all that happened. He claimed this and he's stuck to this. One thing I forgot to mention, they also found a note when they were in the house. This note was a confession to killing his wife, along with a suicide note of saying that he was going to kill himself. So this is why they weren't sure, as I said before, if it was a suicidal man with a gun or a violent man with a gun, because you can never be too safe. Amanda's dad had said he got a call from Denise and he could tell in her voice that something was wrong, and he said he would never forget these 5 words: "Amanda's dead. John shot her." John stayed in custody as police gathered evidence. Amanda's mom and her younger sister go to the house to sort out Amanda's belongings, and while digging through papers, they found something that shocked the whole family. The information they had found was that he wasn't bringing in the money that he had been letting everybody know that he had been bringing in. He had also taken out a second mortgage on the house. They also found out that Erica wasn't disliking Amanda the way that John said she was, that he was actually playing both sides and saying, like, she doesn't want to see you, and making them at odds with each other, and this is the way he wanted it for some reason. Denise, Amanda's mom, thinks that John had just lied so much that they were catching up to him. So let's get back to this box that was left on Erica's doorstep. So the box contained a letter for Erica, a letter for his 2 children, and his will and testament. When they opened his will, it said that nothing is to be left to Amanda, that all of it is to go to his children. And this, as police said, is what showed how he really felt about Amanda. But what they find in John's emails shatters the illusion of a perfect marriage. It was emails to various people, but mainly the one I thought was interesting was the letter to Erica stating that he was going to be serving Amanda with divorce papers in, I believe it was like 1 or 2 weeks, something along those lines. They also found that John had started a dating app and was trying to hook up with women in the local area while being with Amanda, which apparently Amanda had no clue about. Prosecutors now felt as though they had enough evidence to charge John with the first-degree homicide of Amanda. The trial begins February 5th of 2019, and they're going for, as I said, first-degree homicide. The defense's side was trying to explain that it was just an accident and that it was unintended, while the the state attorney's office was trying to prove guilt and premeditation. This is beyond a reasonable doubt. So they don't have to show motive, but they do have to show that he thought about this and planned this. This is not an easy feat, if you ask me. From what the story said, the jury did not take long of deliberation in order to find him guilty, and he was ruled as guilty. The judge at sentencing gives him a chance to explain why. Give this family some closure as to why you did this horrible act. He hangs his head and he says nothing. And this is just a slap in the face of the family, if you ask me. But he is sentenced to life imprisonment with no possibility of parole. I find this to be just a terribly upsetting case, and one that I feel, like I said in the beginning, didn't have to happen. As Amanda's sister put it, why didn't he kill himself instead of killing her and just divorce her and let her go home to her family? This didn't have to happen this way. Anyways, this is the end of our video. If you liked it, please, or not rather liked it, but if you enjoyed my storytelling, please like and subscribe. I post every Sunday at 5 p.m. and I hope you guys have a great week ahead of you. Bye. In loving memory of Amanda Elizabeth Schmidt.